episode, brand new week.
Kenzie on the mic.
Oh, well, baby.
Flamingos podcast.
Flamingo podcast, man. That's a shit. Let's go.
You just tuned into the Flamingos podcast, and this week's episode is kind of improvisation, right? It's an improv. We call it an improv show, maybe. As you can see, we have over here with us Aidyproof. Straight from, I don't know if I can say from Sudan or where he came from the States. Where did he come from now?
I'm a citizen of the world, man. I just came from South Africa, though.
All right, that's dope. That's
It
dope.
was lit. It was lit.
We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
I hope you guys had a good week, good weekend. I hope you guys have a good week. And man, this is a whole different no intro, and I'm not used to the no intros. But yo, first thing first. I just want to make clear to everybody out there about the goal of this show, the Flamingos podcast. Our show is a purely entertainment outlet. It's not a platform for anyone. It's a platform for us before anything, you know, because we're unknown and we're still unknown. Nobody knows our background. We're not artists. We're not engineers or nothing. We're just fans of the music. We like the music, passion, and it happens to be. I'll speak about myself, and I don't know about you guys if you're gonna.
They know you when you say stuff they don't like, though.
I mean, I'm a very passionate person when it comes to music and stuff that I like.
And a little bit of a dickhead too.
Give or take. Give or take, maybe here and there. This show is a purely entertainment show. It's not there to push anyone. It's not there to push the artists. And I'm sorry, like, once again, nobody takes me wrong. We didn't create this to push the scene. Nope, at all. We did this to give an entertainment outlet to the audience, to the people. And somehow a connection between these artists around here in the region and wherever to the audience. That's it. And we give our opinions solely. Every person has his own opinion that he gives and his opinion only. It doesn't reflect the whole group or whatever, you know? It doesn't, and we're not being pushed by anyone. This is all self-made. And yeah, that's all.
I think it's clear. I think the message is clear.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. That's what they say, right?
That's an interesting perspective.
It's an old saying, old American saying.
Proof, how you doing, man?
I'm great. Alhamdulillah, man.
So, Aidyproof or Proof? Which one do you prefer? So,
You know, I got so used to Proof over the years. But it's all the same. Proof. You know, call me whatever.
I've
As long as you don't
seen
call
once
me
you-
late for dinner, you know, as they say.
I've seen once you posted a story, don't call me this, don't call me that, call me Aidyproof or not just Proof. That's why I had to ask you now. You did that once.
Oh, no, that was for like flyers and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because like we'll do shows and it'll just say Proof, but you would want your full actual name. You know what I mean? Like,
And then people would go like, Proof, oh, he's back from the dead.
yeah, exactly. Like I get the whole, Proof, like D12? I'm like, no. It's not
Aidyproof.
him. Yeah. But shout out to Proof. Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace.
That feels weird.
Welcome to
saying
the show also.
Thank you. Been waiting to do this.
Listen, all of this happened last night, right? We met in Roots,
Yep.
right? And I just saw this energy in you. And I was like, this guy has stuff that he wants to talk about. And what wasn't supposed to be here today because he said that I'm not going to be here, whatever. You know, he's going to, today
Yeah.
off. So I looked at Kenzie and I was like, listen, you want to record tomorrow, Proof, be here? He was like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, all right. And then I asked him, I was like, you know
I've been
what?
waiting
Let's
to
do
do
this.
this
Let's do
podcast.
this. Let's do this. So...
Even before you criticized the Circle and they backed us up. Even before then, I was waiting to do this podcast.
If I criticize the Circle, I criticize them for a certain reason.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I was hoping that there was even a little more.
Lala, don't worry. We're gonna tap into that before. So, how was your day?
So far, so good, man. It's been good. Had an interesting night last night when
Roots.
we were
yeah.
all there.
What do
Roots,
you
that
think
was fire.
of the?
I love the way it's set up. You know, it's nice to. First of all, the vocalists that were up there.
Yeah.
There's a lot
They
of
were
beautiful voices.
Yeah, Ruben, Donna.
Yeah, they were dope. Then Tack, you know, I got a soft spot in my heart for Tack. I love Tack. I actually crashed at his crib last night. And then there was these two guys, He's the bully, I think, and AKA
Those
Keys.
dudes?
Yeah, from the square. No, the circle.
Triangle.
Yeah.
From the circle.
Yeah.
And they were all right, man. They're not bad. They did their thing. They could rap.
They're okay. Yeah, they're okay. They're okay. Someone out there also didn't memorize all his lines, something
He
like
was
that.
reading from the phone, yeah.
You know,
Yep.
type of shit you don't want to see on a live performance. But you know, it just happened. I guess.
Yep.
I don't know. It was, yeah, we gotta support at the end of the day.
Learn your shit, nigga. Learn your shit.
But yo, Proof.
Yeah.
For everybody out there, you know, there's always new audience, right? How would you introduce yourself to the audience?
Ooh.
There's always, you know, new people to know you.
I would say bit of a hip hop historian, artist that's trying to fade out of the rapping part and into more of a building role. I like to connect people. I like to develop young talent. I would say that's
More of
Yeah.
a managerial.
not necessarily management, more like,
Looking at the business side of it.
I'm talking more like a mentor.
Okay.
Mentor.
Because like I've spent a lot of time with a lot of artists and like sometimes like there's things that Keys, Ease, and G can do that I can't do. Well, I'm not gonna say can't. I don't like that word. There's things they do better than me.
Okay.
But you can still coach somebody onto certain things. Like if you notice a manager in football or a coach in basketball, there's a guy coaching Messi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a guy that's coaching LeBron James. Those guys can't do what Messi and LeBron James does, but they have a different perspective of the game, and that's kind of where my role is.
Okay.
Don't get it twisted. I bar up though. Like I'm not, I'm not no pushover.
But recently you're focusing on the mentoring part.
Yeah. Now it's more like it went from mentoring to just kind of like, hello, we need to get this shit done. But yeah,
okay.
it's-
But
it's all there.
what made you take that direction? From
See,
all the roles
see,
you could have, like you could have went on the more managerial. You could have been A&R. You
I think for me, it's, and I actually said this to the guys recently in one of our like deep convos about how to improve. I was saying when I was their age, I didn't have a proof. I didn't have a guy that was significantly older than me that had been through a lot that can tell me more important than how to succeed is where you're gonna mess up. That's what you really need to know as a young artist. Everybody's success story is different. You got guys like Russ that make 5 million songs and one of them hits, and then all of a sudden, boom, he makes it. And then you got guys that, like Boss, stumbled on rapping. You know, he was like freestyling with his homies lit one night, and they're like, "Yo, you actually sound like you could rap." And then the next day he gave it a try, and then he sent me a track, and he's like, "You think I should send this to Cole?" I was like, "This shit is fire." So he sent it to Cole. Cole's like, "This nigga's a genius." So like everyone's path is different for success, but there are a lot of similarities in your failures where you can go wrong. For instance, if you get gassed too quick, you know what I mean? Sometimes chicks start to dig you or whatever. You get a little name, and all of a sudden you think, "Halas, I don't gotta
I'm there.
put in more work." Yeah. There's a lot of artists in the industry, and a lot of my friends are deep in the industry, whether they're, you know, top-notch people at some record labels or marketing or A&Rs. So I hear a lot of stories. And whenever I hear a story, I take it back to my squad so that they know. You know, so I want them to know where they can go wrong, not where they're going to go right. I believe in them enough to know you're going to win. But here's
then
where
be
you might
careful of
fuck
that.
up.
Yeah. Don't, you know, watch that.
Yeah,
Don't
I
do
think
that.
that's more valuable of a lesson than the rest.
yeah, people learn from their mistakes, not their successes. Basically.
What was it? It's like a smart man learns from his mistakes, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others.
Yeah,
I think that's the saying,
That's
something like
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So I learned from my mistakes. I want them to learn from mine.
You want them to be wise.
Yeah, yeah.
How's it working?
You know, it's a work in progress. Now I'm just playing. Everybody got their own type of wisdom. You know, G is like an older brother. He's the older sibling out of. Sorry if I'm wrong, but like maybe like 4 or 5. So you know, he's got a lot of that older brother wisdom. Like even sometimes when I was upset with some things within the circle, he'll calm me down and be like, "Well, did you ever think maybe from so and so's
Perspectives.
perspective?"
He gives you a different
Yeah,
perspectives.
and then I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." Also, it's got to be tough dealing with me because growing up in that '90s era, like our standards are so high for everything. That's why I'm not impressed with a lot of things. Like I remember even an artist that I worked with in the past. She was like, "You're never impressed by anything," and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, you know, I grew up in an era where there was Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, you know, Prince. Like I grew up in an era where everybody was literally an icon.
Exactly.
So
at that time.
it's hard for me to be impressed by an average verse, or you know, even if everyone else in the world says, "Yo, this is hot," they're half my age and they haven't heard what I heard. So sometimes I might be like, "Nah, it's trash." It may come across wrong.
But then it's hot to this time. You can't still look back and then because I lived at that time, whatever I see now is trash.
Timeless
Because
stuff.
I agree, but like we had icons, that's true, right? But then there's also you should keep a door open for people, new icons as well.
Oh, for sure.
That gonna come.
Like J. Cole.
We're gonna get into that. No, listen, his top 3. We're gonna get into that. Don't get me wrong. Don't get shit right now from the start. But yo, we're gonna get to that. Anyway, listen. We're gonna get. But more of the introduction about yourself. Yeah, go ahead.
So also I come from a very musical family. My uncle, Allah Yarhamu, Bashir Abbas, was like one of the greatest oud players in the world, and yeah, he recently passed. Actually, Bas was just in Sudan speaking at the ceremony. So we've always been around music. If you guys are familiar with the Sudanese artists like Kabli and Wardi, all these people, like as a kid, they would be around us, you know? So it's like people, even my aunties, they beat the drums and they sing and all this stuff. And one of them does Zar and
That's great.
all that. So we got like a whole lot of music in our family. And then my older brother, DJ Momo, who more or less famous for Everyday People, the party that he does around the world, he actually started out as a rapper.
Okay.
He was one of my favorite rappers. Then he transitioned into DJing, and now he's a DJ and a producer. He's actually produced like some stuff for Bas. He's produced for a lot of people. He's done like some remixes for Missy. And then Ebe, who's the president of Dreamville and Cole's manager, well, he's got a tremendous ear. Like I'm pretty sure if like I feel like in the alternate universe he would be a rapper. You know what I mean? And then well, Bas is like the golden child, the prodigy. Like just figured this shit out real quick.
It happened.
Yeah, he had plans of like working on oil deals, and he was making computers out of random parts. He was like computer nerd kind of thing. And now he can afford a lot of computers by rapping.
When did you start rapping?
Shoo. I'm not going to say the year. I'm going to say when I was 14.
Okay. But I mean, you took it as a career.
As a career, so first I got discouraged at one point. Not from my own skills. More like I caught it at a time where it was not convenient for, I hate the term, boom bap, backpack,
Okay, yeah.
and all that. It's just more, it was underground. It's underground now, but it wasn't underground in the 90s. In the 90s,
That was the
standard. That was the standard.
Yeah.
The Roots, you know, Pharoah Monch, Mos Def, like those were normal.
Rakim,
Rakim, all that. Those are like spitters. You know what I mean? And there was no like funny shit
More
about
categories into, just like how now there's more than one category into hip hop.
And it's important to say stuff. Like I don't like when rappers sound dope but they're actually not saying
Saying
shit
anything,
when you
yeah.
analyze the bars. You're just showing me you're very creative at saying nothing. And,
Correct.
and it's like, all right, whatever. Like, I grew up, and you don't even have to be the best rapper. Like, Tupac to me is like sort of like Bob Marley. Bob Marley was not the most talented guitarist,
Okay.
but what he said impacted you so much. Just
Which
like
was-
Same as Tupac, because he
Yeah.
was more of a
it
revolutionary
came from
person.
the
Yeah,
heart. Like
yeah,
it was,
yeah.
you know, he had something. He had a message in his music, and so I've always been a sucker for messages in the music. So that's something that in my personal music is very important, and within the circle too, because we all have stuff we want to say, and it's all about really giving someone else not necessarily that confidence, but like that feeling of like you're not alone. Like I know there's a million kids out there that want to rap and they don't want to do what's hot at the moment. They want to do what they grew up listening to that they like.
True.
But are you going to be successful doing that? And then they got to battle that fear every day. That's why I really respect the Coles and Kendricks, because they had to play the game. They like do enough for like to please the radios and their labels, but then also in the process gain control to be able to do what they really want to do completely.
That's what Cole did with Sideline Story.
Yeah.
He had to please everybody, and then he had to do what he had to do.
And if
for-
you listen
on
to the
his own.
second album,
Born Sinner.
no, Born Sinner,
Boston.
that's like a big FU to the label, because
Somehow, yeah.
yeah, because like the whole thing, he keeps exposing how, yeah, labels want you to be this way. Well, I studied my fans.
True.
I know what we can do, whatever, you know what I mean? So
And
it's
he
like,
dropped Nas Let Down.
yeah, I let Nas down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great song, great concept.
Take us through the circle. When did it start? The idea, how did it start? And
And the vision
how-
also.
Yeah. And how's it going now?
How's it going?
Because you guys been on mute for a while. For a hot minute right now. I don't see shit.
We're gonna
That
get to-
profile on
we're
Instagram
gonna get to that. We're gonna
is
get to that.
fucking silent. It's dead.
Oh yeah, that Instagram.
You
yeah.
guys are not losing followers now?
Yeah,
It's not
strangely enough, we gained some, but that's mostly because like
People are.
whenever I do stuff as Aidyproof, I always also tag the circle so
yeah.
people are aware.
Checking this out. Yeah.
Every now and then I'll cheat, right? It'll be a picture of like, I don't know, like me and some celebrities, and instead of tagging myself, I'll tag it as the circle. So, you know, you might see
People will
like
go.
Boss,
Yeah.
J. Cole, this guy, that guy, Earth Gang, and it's like the circle. Not really, you know, it's whatever, man. We don't got no budget, no money, so we gotta.
Listen,
gotta do
completely
what you gotta
maneuver
understand.
somehow.
Exactly. And that's a smart thing to do at the end of the day.
But so
But
to
yeah,
start
circle.
with the history,
Yeah.
it started because I was just so fascinated with the amount of talent that comes out of Sudan, and I wanted to show like the world that like if you give these Sudanese artists a chance, I believe that we're as good, if not better, than anyone. Like I believe that the variety that we have and the skill level, there isn't a place we can't hang with. Like if you talk about the States, you got Bass, you got Odyssey, you know what I mean? If you're talking about singing, you got girls like Aida. Like these people are doing things on international levels and they're very fucking good. And I was like, yo, but where we come from, there's so much more of that. So I started out wanting to do this compilation, and shout out to Omar Majid, who was one of the original members of the Circle. Omar Majid was the one that, when I was trying to put together this compilation, 249 Experience Volume 1, he started pointing out some people to me. He's like, yo, you got to listen to G Saleh. And this is kind of funny. At first, I was like, G Saleh, what is he, some trap rapper from Sudan? Like, because I saw G. I didn't realize that was his name, Jihad Saleh. So I was just like, whatever. I hesitated at first, but
Talking
then I
about
checked it
judging
out.
people.
Oh yeah, no, I have silent judgments. I'm a silent, judgmental person, but I admit when I'm wrong.
Okay.
So I'm judgmental, but I'm not an asshole. Like I'll be like, oh shit, okay, I was wrong. Then who else did he point out to me? A couple of people here and there. I already knew about Too Dope and Rotation and those guys. Like those guys I already knew about. So I started looking at the ones that were my favorites, not not saying they're the best. Actually, they are. But it was my favorite of the bunch. I was like, so Keys is a whole different story. So Ease, first of all, is his mom is my first cousin. So he's my blood.
relatives.
Yeah.
جاي يعني واسطة.
No wasta. So I was hard on
you
him.
rap? I'm forming a crew.
No, it
That's
was,
what
you know what it is about Ease, that we have the same influences in hip hop.
Okay.
And I felt like he evolved into like almost like a British sounding 50. Now I think he's more versatile than that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I wasn't really into UK rap, but he got me into it because I liked his shit. And then Keys, I was working the J. Cole tour. We were in Birmingham, and part of my job, like sometimes I had to go out and get like either VIPs or the meet and greet people. So I go out and it's a crowd of just a ridiculous crowd waiting outside to get in. And as I'm walking, I hear someone yell, "Proof." And I'm always kind of like hesitant when somebody knows me, especially at that time. Like now I made a bit more of a name for myself. But then it was like, the average person that knows me means they looked at who does J. Cole follow.
Okay.
And then they're like, aha, maybe I could get through to this guy because he doesn't seem too busy. You know? He's not too big.
You get all those groupies.
Yeah. So I thought it was something like that. But then I was like, fuck it. I turned around and I seen this kid. He seemed like a nice kid. And he was just all excited. And he's like, yo, I don't want to take up your time. I'm not going to play you no music or nothing. So already, that was a good intro. I was like, oh, okay. So what's up? He's like, can you just give me some advice for upcoming artists? I was like, get a team. Yeah, you're only as good as your team. No matter how good you are, you can't do this shit by yourself. Fast forward, I'm in LA, and some nigga tells me that the reason I didn't make it, I'm explaining why like I didn't like necessarily follow through in hip hop the way I should have. He's like, nah, man, you just weren't good enough. I'm like, okay. So I go and like drop this verse on IG.
Okay.
Which got a lot of fire emojis and stuff. And
like
it was
a
just
شكله
my
verse
way.
كان قهر.
Yeah, I just wanted to, it was like a revenge kid. You know, and then I get this long message from Keys. And he's like, yo, this is so inspiring, and what you and your family do for the culture, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, this guy's so nice. Fuck it. Let me just check his music out. And whenever I check an artist's music out, I pray that they don't suck.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, please don't suck. I'm like, okay, here we go, click.
Boom.
And it was Wait For Me, the first song that I heard from him. And I'm like, whoa, this is hard. It's like, hold on. Maybe it's a fluke. Let me hear the next one. No options left. I was like, nah, khalas, this is one of my favorite rappers. So I hit him back. And then I start like having a relationship with him through that. And then that's kind of when I started coming up with the idea of like, all right, let me start collecting these Sudanese artists and do something. Then G, that was two different people referred me to G and said, check it out. Omar Majid and also another homie called Omar in New York. So when I checked it out, I was like, oh, wow, this is dope. Because what they all had in common, they all reminded me of the hip hop I grew up on.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, okay, but this is an evolution of it. Almost like Bob Marley's my favorite artist. One of my other favorite artists is Damian Marley.
Okay.
Because it's almost like an evolution, not better, but it's like
Evolution.
you're following in that path, but you're more with the times. New cadences, a little more, different rhythms and shit. So that started out, and then at the time, Keys and Nadine were a thing, an item or whatever. And I was thinking at first like, I'll check her out. And then I heard Egyptian Silver, and I was like, whoa. There's some range there. And she could rap. I was like, okay. I was like, with the right guidance, she could really do some damage. And then there was YK. YK grew up with Ease. They're from the same neighborhood. And I love YK. YK, actually, most people now don't even know how good of a rapper YK is. They're just used to Afro YK and Vibey YK, but he could really spit. And then Omar Majid was making beats and rapping. So the seven of us, I was like, okay, this is going to be the circle. This is.
And why the name, The Circle?
The name The Circle came because a lot of organizations have a top to a bottom. You know what I mean? There's like somebody at the
Hierarchy.
very top.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. I want us to be more like a Wu-Tang Clan, where it's just like, you know, there's nobody that seems more this than the other or blah, blah, blah. It was like it was a real union, like the Knights of the Round Table type shit, you know?
Yeah.
What I mean? Like something circle, like a circle, it just goes into each other. So whatever you put in is what's coming
It's
back.
coming back.
So that's why I went with The Circle. It wasn't like too complicated. I'm not gonna lie, at the time I didn't know that there was actually a circle previously in Sudan. So I had made my mind up, and then Keys was like, but there was a circle group. So I was like, are they active? And he's like, nah, not anymore. I was like, well, you know, because I had already started doing circle this, circle that, putting like little red logo and stuff. So I was like, all right, well, nobody gonna really sweat it. Or so I thought. But and then we did 249 Volume 1, and that's when I got like 17, 18 different.
Now you were working on 249 before forming.
I had the idea, but then the circle.
Yeah.
It all happened
and
at
you
the same
came to
time.
Sudan, and you came to Sudan.
Yeah,
to
during the
do
revolution.
249 volume 1.
I just came because I go to Sudan all the time anyway.
Okay.
But in the process, by then there was a song called Sudania that we did on Omar Majid beat. And it was pretty much a diss record to the tyrant Omar Bashir. And it was very vulgar, you know, talking a lot of shit. To the point that they were telling us, like, yo, you can't say where you recorded this because they'll come and shut down our studio or whatever. And G had sent, I remember actually right before I went to Sudan, G had sent me his verse that starts out, Lord heal us, fuck the painkillers, and all the promises to fake the state give us. And I was bumping that on tour, on Boss's tour bus, and Lute was there, Lute from Dreamville. And he was like, I played him the song. I'm sorry, no, that was right after Sudan. I went to Sudan, but we didn't like completely do a bunch of shit. We just did some stuff. I went back on tour. I'm playing him the song Sudania. So he hears G, he hears me, he hears Keys and Omar Majid on that song. He's like, damn, all them niggas from Sudan? He's like, I ain't know niggas from Sudan can spit like that. I was like, we're on Boss's tour bus. And that's really what kicked in, like, ooh, I like that surprise feeling he got, and I want to surprise the world with that. It's like, okay, Sudania was kind of what started the real push.
The whole,
Yeah.
For you, the whole
Yeah.
idea to be pushed.
Now, as far as where we are now, so we're down to 4 members from the original 7.
Yeah, first, so YK
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
right? And then Nadine,
No, no,
Omar.
Omar,
Yeah.
and then Nadine.
Yeah.
All right, and then what happened? I mean, what happened
maybe
with
it
these
was Omar
guys?
first. No, it was Omar first.
But what happened
Omar was the
for
first
these
one.
guys
Yeah, Omar was
to leave?
With Omar, at the time, he was going through a lot of things, and it was causing some complications
Okay.
for us, you know what I mean? But it was more like, when you get your head right, because he, it's
The
not
door's
for me
still
to
open
talk.
for
He
you.
has,
Yeah.
Yeah, of
it's his personal issues or whatever. But he's so talented, so I still kept working with him. And same with YK and Nadine, I still work with them, you know what I mean? YK, it was more like he felt like he couldn't put in the amount of effort required
Okay.
because he was also doing his solo stuff, and he's, mashallah, he kills it. He's doing a lot of good stuff. And so, but we stayed, we still work together. Actually, he sent me a new track yesterday for Volume 2, which is fire. Nadine, it was like a combination of things. I think it's always tough when in the dynamic when you're in a relationship with someone in a group. That means that like things can go one way or another.
Yeah, that's true.
Like these guys are probably broken up like 187 times in our span of being a group, and eventually, it's just gonna take its toll. And it was just.
It was better
probably-
to part
yeah.
ways.
Yeah, it's not like I said you need to go. No, it's none of
Yeah.
that. It's
To keep it healthy.
It's mixing
Yeah.
the work with personal gets
yeah.
a bit,
But I make sure that I still work with these artists, because when I liked them in the first place, it wasn't just I wasn't fronting.
Yeah.
You know,
You like them for a reason.
yeah. And by the way, she's improved so much, like on all aspects. So I'm real proud of her for that. And then now it's like we have so much unreleased music, so much, and we need to be dropping stuff. And we've had these convos, and we've agreed to it. But the truth is, life happens, and everybody handles it differently. So individually, like Keys is getting ready to re-release his project that was taken off all platforms,
yeah.
for some bullshit reason.
What was the reason?
DistroKid said due to the sanctions that are placed on Sudan,
That
they
it was
removed
released
it.
in the.
Oh, okay.
No, but it doesn't make sense because one, he didn't upload it in Sudan. Two, all these artists in Sudan are using DistroKid also.
Yeah.
This is
So-
the thing that I always try to tell artists: don't use
Don't use
DistroKid.
DistroKid.
There's more than one fucking.
But it's the most popular one, and
No,
everybody's using
no,
it.
and I think they mostly because it's the only one that is free.
You pay.
It
like-
is
not free.
It's not free. You pay like a 10
But
bucks
it's
a
still-
I have
year.
the
you
label
you
one,
can-
so it's
you
like
can-
75
Yeah,
a year.
there's this,
bucks a year.
Dollars.
but then it doesn't give you that much of a support for you as an artist. You
Yeah.
don't get playlists. There's other publishers, websites that
This
do.
video, I think we started.
There's a whole
that's
bunch
why
of
using
websites. That's why I've came more than once over here, and I've told like artists should start figuring out because nowadays you don't really need a publishing deal, for say, you know, but you can have websites that do that for you, you know, and DistroKid doesn't give that, you know.
Yeah.
So there's more than other one
But
website
I
that
don't
give
get
you
the reason,
better.
The reason again, why did they take it off? Because of.
No, that's the email they sent us said because of the sanctions placed on Sudan, but it doesn't clarify anything. I think it's because he's had some things in there where he was talking his shit, you know, all that, talking shit about Zionists and Rothschilds and all that shit. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But it can't be because of the sanctions because we were all,
Releasing still.
yeah. So it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
But that's just my conspiracy theorist working there.
I think
you know?
you know what, it makes sense because he got more focused maybe later when he did that with Ebro. Ebro shared on his story that, and then maybe he got focused and then maybe focused on what he said over there. Maybe I'm just saying, you know.
And then he's in the song that he did with Boz, Dead Body has like over 1 million streams. So it's like, you know,
It's
there's
wide
people
now,
paying attention
right?
to you.
Yeah.
Where were we at? Where were we going with this?
The
future of
circle
the circle,
now,
I think.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening now?
No, okay.
So right now, me personally, while we wait to get our album together, because I want us to have our first like proper
album, yeah.
We have a lot of the songs, but everything, being 4 people in different, well, 2 of them here and the other 2 were scattered. So it's hard to even get like on the same page all the time. So sometimes I'll just end up, like I don't want to just rush something, but I'm itching. I'm itching to drop something. But sometimes it's like, all right, we need to get this done, we need to get that done. But meanwhile in life, homies are struggling. There's a lot of things that's tough. So it's not like, there's no machine behind us. There's no budget. There's none of that. Which is why I travel so much to like come here. I come here to Dubai so much because it's just much easier for me to be in these guys' presence so that we could work. Because when it's not like that, it's just too easy to get distracted by life, is what I'll say.
The supervisor is here.
Not even, but it's
You're working, right?
Like-
you dropped this verse.
I alternate. Sometimes I'm the supervisor. Sometimes I try to inspire.
Okay.
So like there was like 2 or 3 Dubai trips ago is when we made the most work, and that
that song where Osotak was in the video. At
Oh,
that
yeah.
time,
Yeah, shout out
you
Spencer.
you guys were working at that time. Yeah.
So what we would do at that time, and I'm a bit of a weirdo, so when I get angry, I need revenge. And my revenge is like, there's times, for instance, where like I feel like we're working too slow and not doing enough. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, I know what I'm gonna do. And I'll go find a dope ass beat and I'll write a hook that'll make them wanna write it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll wait till they come back from whatever they were doing. Then I'll play it. They're like, oh, yeah, let's do this. Oh, this is hard. Yeah. And that's
Okay.
how I get my revenge. It's like, all right, I'm gonna motivate you by. And the crazy thing is, it made me 100 times better. I'm way better now, like musically, than I ever was. Only because I was trying to impress these guys enough.
You
to
grew
write.
as well
Yeah.
with the process.
Like my hooks used to be one of my weaknesses growing up. Now I'm like, I feel like Joe Frazier or Mike Tyson. I got hooks for days. Like I got so many hooks that are and to the point that I'm starting to think I need to get someone else to sing my hooks or rap my hooks because I don't want to
And
be.
you write them down.
I don't want to be all over everything. Like we got a track coming up with we got a Circle and Boss track coming up
Okay.
on this volume 2. And I purposely told them like I don't want to be on this track. I just want to arrange it.
Yeah.
That's it. And I remember Keith saying, why? And I was just like, cause man, like my goal is to like highlight y'all. And you don't need 5 people on this track. It'll be so much sweeter and better if it's just, so I was like, Keys, you already did a track with Boss, so you're just gonna do the hook on this one. Ease and G get verses. You know, and it's an incredible track.
When is okay? So you talked about the Circle album. When is it? Yeah, around.
Well, realistically,
Yeah.
I would have to say, if we're being real, probably.
And for instance, and I thought you guys have problems, one with each other.
No, not
Because-
with each
no,
other.
because-
It's
no, no.
frustration, not problems. It's different. Yeah.
I mean, as a person who's from the outside and see you guys inactive for a while, that as a circle, not individually,
yeah.
because every person I can see is working.
Yeah.
G is releasing, E's released, Keys, yourself also.
Yeah.
Everybody's working, But as a group, I thought that these guys, there's a problem, maybe, like there's
No.
something up there, and
It's-
there's no more circle.
No. It's not that. It's not like that. What it is it's more like while everyone's working on the circle stuff, they also have their own solo careers, and they want
To push them.
push that too. So my job at that point becomes to find a healthy balance.
Okay.
I failed.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm playing. But I'm trying to get more balance out of it. Like, and I think now we had some good talks, and I think we're headed in the right direction. Like, I'll do things like I'll tell G, for instance, like, yo, you got strong leadership skills. I need you to exercise that more on the circle. Like
Okay.
sometimes treat it like the way you treat your solo stuff. Because
With
he's
the
so
circle.
organized and so on point.
okay.
Like G, if I send him something right now and say I need this verse tomorrow, he'll write
3
it from
p.m.
scratch.
He'll be there.
His working ethics is on point.
Yeah. And Ease works hard. He just doesn't have the same things like at his disposition. Like for instance, Keys can record a song, can make a beat. He's producing now, by the way, and it's fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Keys will make his own beat, do his song on it, and mix it himself. You know what I mean? Where for Ease, he'd have to find a place to record it at times. Then
An
he'd have to
engineer
ask
to work
someone
on it.
to
Yeah.
mix it. And sometimes it's just like, but at the same time, if you look at like his rhymes or the stuff that he has written that's not put down yet, he's probably got more than the rest. G is more like project. He manages his projects. This is what I'm doing. Boom, 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 and he sticks to it. Keys has great ideas, great music. He just every now and then he needs a kick in the ass. It's like yesterday at the performance, he did the song "How to Live." Can't tell you how to live.
Yeah.
And our boy Ra was sitting behind me, and he tapped me, and he's like, "Now I see why you frustrated with this nigga. This song is fucking incredible." I was like, "Yeah." Like it's usually the ones that got like kind of like all the potential in the world, and that frustrates you.
They're disruptive.
Yeah, it's just. But he's gonna be fine. I told him before. I said he's only one. Like he's the only person I've ever met who can solve all his issues with fixing one thing, Yo, my bad if I'm getting mad personal here, bro. Airing out all our dirty laundry to the world, you know what I mean? But that's how we are. We transparent. We rap about this shit.
Yeah.
Now, I told him, I was like, if he gets his time management right, then he could rule the world.
Okay.
But he just needs time management. Everybody else has different issues, you know. Some niggas need this, need that, blah, blah. He just needs to fix one thing. And it'll take care of all his problems.
What about you on an individual level as an artist?
I feel like I got a lot of shit that I do, and the only reason I don't push it is because it's almost like I reserve my energy for the squad. Like, I do my stuff just because I love it. But, like, I don't have the same goals I used to have. Like, now I want to be a writer. I want to be more of a musician.
Okay, so you want more of behind the scenes,
Yeah.
right?
I want to Quincy Jones this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a, and I actually, because see, not a lot of people that I see maybe around that they like to take such a role. And I see this role as a great role.
It's important one.
It's
I
a
love
very
it.
important to even support, the people around you,
Yeah.
But then, that's why I see everybody that wants to be just a rapper, just a singer, just that I've never, sat down and, no, I want to be there with these guys, to work, make them release, do this, do that.
There's also a lot of pride into, like, one of the things that I related to all of them and then drew me close to them was we're all underdogs. And to me, it's like an underdog that's getting a second chance. Like, it's almost like, okay, let's say you didn't win the title as a player. Now you become a coach and you win. Then it kind of, it's like, I won. Like, because you showed somebody something, like,
True.
you didn't do it for
that's
them.
true.
You just gave them a bit of direction. And, like, my man, one of my favorite, I'm not even going to say Sudani artist, one of my favorite artists. Me and my man have long talks about, like, deep shit, like galactic signatures and stuff like that.
Yeah, my man strikes me as that type of a person
Yeah,
who would have those type of conversations.
He's a genius. He's like, he's so creative, but, like, he really does his research, and he was, like, pointing out to me what my galactic signature was, and what it explains is I'm a gardener. I'm someone that waters seeds.
Okay.
That's what I do. I water seeds.
Take care of.
I water seeds, yeah. And he made a great point last time. He's like, but Proof, somebody's got to water you. I was like, "Ooh, that's deep. Okay. He's like, you need to start taking care of yourself more. You're always giving
Exactly.
to everybody.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
And that's why I asked you this question. You as an artist on an individual level, like,
I got shit to prove.
I mean,
I got
pun
a lot of
intended,
shit
right?
coming up. Yeah. I actually, me and Tack started working on the EP this week.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fire. I love Tack. And then also, I have some solo songs also, a lot of solo shit. But I'm more interested in, I want to do a format that's a little different. I kind of want to do a whole project of just, like, not full songs, like a verse, a bridge, and a hook. But it doesn't come back with another verse. Like, just short,
okay, so it's done.
2 minutes and change.
Yeah.
Because people don't have attention span nowadays.
True.
And I've learned to get more melodic with it, to kind of just, in a weird way, it's like not really changing, but changing. I don't know how to explain. Like, integrity-wise, I didn't change. But some of the style
Back in the
stuff,
days, it was
yeah.
more of a spitty, proof. Now we're seeing more of a melodic art tune.
Because honestly, since I was a kid, I always wanted to sing. I'm just not a singer. But now that this new generation of rap allows you to do a bit of that, even if you're not a singer, it opened the doors for me to get melodic. If I tried to do that back in the day, it'd be like, man, you're not R&B singer. What is this shit? But now, literally, every rapper sings. So
True. Circle.
the Circle. Yeah, let me get back to something one time. So one time I was watching you guys' podcast.
Ah, okay.
And I think it was
on the way.
Circle versus the World 2 was dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Flamingos versus. What was the name of the episode? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like
I remember.
I'm trying to remember exactly what you said, but it was like, it's more of the same. We need something different. And I don't know.
I was saying that.
We're
All
not
right,
sure
so
to
we
play it.
heard
We're gonna
this,
play it,
we heard this, we heard that, but it's kind of the same,
yeah.
It's different. What's different now?
And
like you literally, guys, you had like 3 songs somehow, and I'm sorry, I forgot what, but they were kind of the same
Vibes?
vibe. Yeah, the same, you know.
I don't remember which one of you two. I think it might have been you that was
It might be me.
explaining. Yeah, that was explaining like. First of all, it's still early in the process at the time, so it's like we're not gonna go from like rapidy rap to like Afro beats instantly.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
gotta be like some
yeah.
transition.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna go from like Black Thought to I'm a Piano in like a day. There's gotta be different things you're gonna. Yeah, and I thought we were developing at an all right pace. You know, it wasn't good enough for the villain.
Oh, whoa, okay. Thank you very much.
I'm just fucking
painted.
with you. I think it's great. I think you should run with that villain role, and you know whatever they say, fuck 'em. That's me saying it. Don't take it out on them. You know, don't go hating Flamingo podcast for that. You can come hate proof. It's all good.
All right, so volume 2 also.
So volume 2, originally I wanted to be out over a year ago,
Okay.
but well, for starters, imagine you guys are all familiar with Sudanese timing
Of course.
or lack thereof.
I think we experienced one today.
Yes, I was definitely late today. 54 minutes late. But so imagine multiplying that with 20 artists. You know, now you're waiting on one guy's verse for like 6 months. You're waiting on this girl's song for like a year. You're waiting for, you know, the mixes and everything. And
You don't
then-
give them deadlines? Well,
Oh, we started out with deadlines, but I mean, it's hard when like some of these people can like.
everything was dead and no one online.
That is, but
I used to rap.
But it's like it's tough because again, like people have their own careers, their own things they're doing, but they really express their interest to be part of it. So also there was the timing. Then Revolution took off, and it was just like you got to be, you know, sensitive to your environment and what's going on.
I know when to do this and that.
Yeah. So, but it's a blessing because holding off has allowed it to have so much more shit. Like the amount of new songs and different things that came in that time now it's going to be like 4 times better than the original
Okay. Idea.
version that I had of it. Yeah.
How many tracks?
So far, it's like 17.
Dang. Okay, so it's more of a
17 set and ready to go?
Yeah, but some of them might be changed for like a different track. Some of the artists are like, oh, that track was like a year ago. I want to give a new one.
Okay, yeah.
So like YK just sent me a new one. I'm waiting for.
How many artists? Can you name some? If you want to
name some. You know what?
I mean, if you
No,
want to.
I'll do it because
All right.
I've been waiting to be on this podcast for a minute. And y'all show me love, so why not, right? Like, isn't that what people do? They go on shows and
Show
give you
love.
exclusive
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
Off the top, we have Boss, we have Odyssey, my man,
Okay.
Hoosh, The Circle, YK, Nadine. There's Omar from New York.
Okay.
He's kind of newer to the scene. Young boy out of New York. He's sick. He's really dope. And it's crazy because like he's put me onto him, and I was like, oh, this kid is dope. And then I come to find out that I roomed with his father and partied with his pops like a couple of years ago.
Whoa.
I was like, yo, this is wild. Like, yeah. So there's now there's a lot of names that people would expect to be on there that aren't. And
All right. So,
disclaimer, that is not my fault.
okay, it's your fault. It's their fault.
I mean, it's their choice.
Oh, okay. So they chose not to.
Yeah, like some politely declined, said,
Okay.
oh, I got a deadline, I got to meet. You know.
So off the top,
Some I believe, some I
rotation,
didn't.
is he on?
So Rotation hit me up saying he wanted to get on, but he hadn't like responded yet. I'm gonna hit him up one more time.
Okay. Too dope.
No,
Soldier.
no.
Aida?
Aida.
I'm waiting for her to send me back the track.
Okay. Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
Who else? Walgies.
Who?
Walgies.
No, I'm interested in because if he has something ready, like, because here's the thing, and I know after the first volume, a lot of artists got mad at me because they don't realize I was not up on everything.
You'll always get people.
You know what I mean? But like, I
unsatisfied
found
with
out
it.
about him a little bit later. I actually recently just reposted his project, and shout out to him.
Yeah.
He got a project out now, and there's like Soldier on it, my man. Yeah,
It's a
Hollander,
dope project.
So I'll see. You know, I'll reach out to him. We'll see. But like, there's some people. Like I spoke to Sido Simba and Maz Mars.
Okay.
They were working on some stuff. They had some deadlines, so they couldn't do it.
Okay.
So as far as the people that's not on it, yeah, it's them and OD and who else?
OD?
Yeah, he's not on it.
He's not.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he also you know, like this is what each one of them has told me, you know. So it's cool. Like there's always gonna be a volume 3, and if they have time, then you know
It is.
great.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Luckily, because we're from Sudan, there's enough talent to make up for anyone that's not on it.
True.
And then
Buddha?
yeah, Buddha's
Is he on?
Okay.
Buddha killed Buddha's song. Buddha and Musti have two
I
of
heard
my
about
favorite
Musti.
tracks.
I heard about Musti. Musti is
Yo,
fire.
Buddha
I
got
heard
a
about
song.
Musti.
Musti got a song. They're so fire. And then there's SJ, young boy out of he's like R&B.
I also heard about him.
Yeah, like he gonna be one of them dudes that's gonna sing the panties off of girls. I'm sorry if that's like politically incorrect or whatever. There's Rula. She's also young. She works with all of them. Work with my man. I'm sure I'm leaving out a lot of people, but yeah, it's a fire. Like the whole project is coming together so nicely, and then this time the circle is kind of like sprinkled all throughout.
Okay.
So there's like a
here and
song
there,
with
here
me and
and
my
there.
man.
Okay.
There's a song with G and my man.
Okay.
There's a song. There's a song with me, Keys, and my man. That's grammatically wrong. They always teach you in school to say my man, Keys, and I.
Oh yeah. The
Get your
opposite.
English
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
kids. Oh, fuck that, man. Anyway, it's me and them niggas. The shit's hard, and it's like, and it's produced by AK on the beat.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I think AK is like definitely
He
like
is,
top tier.
Yeah.
Sudanese
One of the best,
producers.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
is.
Like his beats just don't miss. I don't have like a personal relationship with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's fire. Hoosh is just amazing. He's
Shout
one
out
of
to
my
Hush.
favorite.
Also, he's now headlining in
Yeah, he's gonna be in
Rolling Loud.
Rolling Loud. Yeah, in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really dope. I got time to tell a little story about Hoosh.
I mean, go ahead.
So Hoosh is one of those artists. When I was looking for artists for Volume 1, I was going through the internet. I'm like, yo, this kid is dope. So I started messaging him. He sent me some song, loved it. We finally meet in Sudan. And I'm like, yo, it's dope to finally meet you. And he's like, bro, I've been to your parents' crib during Ramadan one time. I was like, oh, shit. Queens. I'm like, what? He goes,
Palata,
yeah.
you know everybody.
Yeah, and then he goes,
their dads, their mom, they're everybody.
This
yeah.
one gets crazy.
Family relations.
This one gets crazy. So and then he's like, yeah, and I used to intern for your brother, DJ Moma, at Everyday People.
Damn.
I was like, wow. And then I find out, and then one day when we're in Sudan, he's like, yeah, I'm at my uncle's crib. If y'all could pick me up on the way to the studio. I'm like, bet. I show up. His uncle is a friend of ours, and they used to, like, the apartment I lived in New York used to be his uncle's apartment before me. So there was another connection. So then we go to the studio, and he's like, oh, now on the way back, we're both staying in Manchia. So we're like, oh, we'll just take a cab together. We live in the same complex, the building across from me.
Okay.
And then I found out in Qatar, we lived in the same compound, Al-Masila. I lived in Qatar for 3 years when I was young.
So you guys.
And then it
Been
gets
around.
crazier. Hold on, it gets crazier. So for years, he was telling me the story about how when he what got him into music is that as a child, his mom would sing a lullaby to him.
Okay.
Come to find out, it was composed by my uncle that just recently passed away. Like the connections there is just wow.
It's crazy.
So yeah, shout out to Hoosh.
كويس ما
man.
طلعتوا اخوان. You didn't know about it.
Big shout out to Hoosh. By the way, I've been playing with the idea. So I don't know if you guys know this, but like Tak has some Sudanese heritage. Did you guys know that?
Nubian.
Nubian,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, does that mean
maybe
does that mean I could put him on volume 2? Or is anybody gonna?
Does he?
Of course, I mean, musically he qualifies and plus, but like, yeah, You know what? We're just gonna work on getting him a Sudanese passport for whatever that shit is worth.
Just to get him on, just to get him on that tape.
But yeah,
The project.
yeah, because I need Tack on there, man. Shout out to Tack.
Shout out to Tak. Yeah,
Shout out
but
to Tak.
what do you think about the scene? I mean, you've came to Dubai more than once now, right?
I think
You've
it's
seen the
evolved.
artist. Okay.
It's still got work to do. Like I'm not shitting on it or anything, but one thing I like a lot more in the last year or two versus before is before I felt like everyone was a copy of someone else. I didn't feel like there was much originality here, and it's okay. It's just because it was starting out, so people are looking for.
Always at the start, yeah, you
Yeah.
mimic who you like, you know, and
Yeah,
then till
yeah.
you find your own route.
I felt like there were too many of these kind of flows, and you know, and it was just like a lot of that kind of underground, but not really.
Okay.
But now it's changed. It feels like people are more mature musically and they know what they're doing. And I love like what Freak does, you know, or Tack. You know, Tack's my favorite in the region.
In the region.
Yeah, I mean, not counting Sudan.
Oh, okay.
'Cause, you know,
Okay.
Again, I mean, yeah. But Tack's one of my favorites.
Okay, I got a question. So you witnessed the rise of a star in the States, like J. Cole and Baz.
Yeah.
And you know the formula. You know the process. Do you think this, following this same, can happen here in the region after, for example, what we have seen yesterday? If there was a formula for building a star.
It's not an exact formula because here the industry is a little different. Like
It's young.
radio plays such a big role over there. You know what I mean?
Shit.
So like
we're
when
getting
you,
the radios again.
no, like when you crack into like radio play, then your shit's gonna be playing in every car and every you walk into a store, you're shopping, it's gonna be playing in there. So I think they could follow the formula in terms of how to grow your fan base organically. That's what Dreamville did better than anyone in the game. Like a lot of people grow their fan base because they did a hit record with Drake or they did a hit record with Future or something like that. So now their fan base gets bigger. But like Cole and most of the Dreamville artists, their fan base grew with them as like their homies almost. Like Cole in college, those same people are now the heads of companies. So now they're the ones dropping the bags. You know what I mean? So like if you start fast and early into developing, like just get a small crew of fans, let that grow organically. Like focus on being who you are and not necessarily, like you can incorporate things, but just don't bend. And there'll be enough people that will respect you and appreciate you because there's billions of people on the fucking planet.
True.
You're bound to find 1,000 motherfuckers that relate
That
to
will
you.
like what you do.
Yeah. And then from that, what does everybody do when they find some shit they really like? They want to
share.
be the first to tell their friends about it.
Yeah.
I put y'all homies on to AK Keys. I'm the one that told you
Found
about
it.
Tag. I'm the
who
one that,
found it.
they feel a sense of ownership.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
So like that's if you develop that strong core, it's also why J. Cole was able to do what he did against what the label was thinking he was gonna do. Like labels thought he was gonna do 80,000 total. He came out, did like 200,000+ in the first week. They thought that 80 was gonna be total for the whole thing. Next album, they thought he was gonna do low numbers. Boom, crazy numbers. And no matter what he did, the fans stuck with him. Like even like For Your Eyes Only, which I think is a great project. There's some people that felt differently about it because they were so used to like,
Different
we
goal,
want
yeah,
this,
yeah,
we
yeah,
want that, or this is what's hot at the moment. In the midst of all the trap shit, he came out with a very musical album.
but
Half
then
of it is singing.
This is what makes him, for example, now top 3. Him,
Yeah.
Kendrick, and Drake
Yeah.
for now. No matter what you would see happening, they would still come with their projects that are different than what's the wave is on right now.
They weren't trying to sound like Future or
Exactly,
whoever else,
you know,
or Migos.
like
or none
even
of
Drake
that.
would do features throughout the year, right?
Yeah.
With the trap, and it would have trap song, whatever it is. But then when he drops his album,
Certified Lover shit.
yeah, it's different. You know, it's Drake. You know,
Yeah.
this is Drake.
Yeah.
Kendrick's same story. Cole, same story. He would drop, you know, you would know, oh yeah, that's J. Cole, you know. So that's what makes them three right now at this time, as in, you know,
Yeah.
the biggest.
The Drake example, I can't speak on as much as like Kendrick and Cole, but Kendrick and Cole, it also takes some like mental fortitude to stick with, because it's riskier. It's riskier to do some real rap the way that I grew up on type shit than the other stuff. Now, obviously, they incorporated it. They did a lot of that, but like, there's a lot of bars. These guys bar up. You know what I mean? And if you look at Cole now, like, he does these little feature runs. He just murdered the Benny the Butcher track. You know what I mean? Or
Did he?
Yes, he did.
it shut the internet down.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, the song is fire.
Yeah.
That's who had the better verse.
in my opinion.
I mean, it's a biased opinion. It's going
Well, I
to
mean,
be.
no. Actually, no. It's not. I'm actually very good at being objective when it comes to this stuff. I would
Because
say.
I honestly think.
I think Benny had a
Benny
great
killed
verse. He
it.
killed it. But
Benny killed it.
But I think it's the same. It was more like Eminem and Jay-Z on Renegade.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
where it's like Jay-Z's track, but everyone's like, "Ooh, Eminem killed you on
Killed
it." But when you go back and really
it's
listen,
Jay-Z who really killed it.
well, no, but look, they both kill it.
No,
It
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
have to be.
No,
it doesn't have to
I'm
be-
sorry. It's JC who really had the better verse.
I think
Still today.
that the impact of Cole's verse was bigger.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
a
it's
different
the way
approach
that-
of...
Yeah, and I also like the fact that at the end of Benny's verse, he's like, besides Kanye West, tell me who should I respect? And then boom, this guy comes and gives the most talked about verse of the year. So it's like, you know, I don't know if that's what he intended, but that's from my point of view, I was like, oh, that's dope.
That's what you get. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if you like at his age, at his stage, and after all these albums going, all of them multi-platinum, and I think No Role Models might be the most streamed hip hop song on Spotify or something like that. It's some crazy wild
I don't know.
billions.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, or it's up there. You
Yeah.
know, like after all that to come back, do all this rapping shit, like real rapping, and of course he still has like some singing stuff in there, but like in off season. But
Listen, not to cut you, but we're going to get to Cole, don't worry. About the scene in Sudan.
Yeah.
I want to tap into that before getting there. What do you think, and what do you think that lacks now? Because more than once, I came and like me and the guys, we talked about the scene in Sudan and how beautiful it is. Like, there's mad talents over there, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, also the Sudanese community are a supportive community. Like, the audience, when they like the artist, they would fucking support him till death. You know, like,
shit, even when they don't like him, they support him.
they fucking support, you know,
it's a
right?
pride, it's a national
and that's
pride,
something
right?
that you don't see in a lot of countries in the region, right?
Yeah.
That, you would see that type of community that would support you no matter what. But then, until now, like, okay, the only person that I feel that, okay, he's making Sudan now is Soldier, out because of the connections and the movement that he's doing. But before that, I felt like it was stuck inside Sudan, and that's it.
So when you say stuck, before I respond, I gotta clarify. I want you to clarify.
Yeah.
When you say it was stuck inside Sudan, you
Like,
mean like
it's not heard around the region.
okay. Yeah, no, that's true. But that's because there's no infrastructure in Sudan. We don't like, for instance, if you like even the way that music plays on the radio in Sudan, or for instance Spotify, we don't have Spotify in Sudan. So like that's one of the things I was really proud of with the Cirxle, like the 50,000 or 40 whatever thousand monthly listeners we have on Spotify. That doesn't include Sudan. So like there's no, it's stuck because of infrastructure, is what I believe. Like there's no, people can't tour. You know what I mean? Like the way artists
But
spread
then
their
we've never
music.
seen before people also doing features from outside of Sudan. People in Sudan used to mainly do feature within Sudan. Like in
Yeah.
a year, you would see that, and that's for example, it didn't happen maybe. I'm a man a rotation 2 times, 3 times a year song.
Yeah.
You know, do you really need that? Like, okay, a song, yeah, that's cool, right?
Well, back
But
then they were also all Young Justice, so they had, you know,
yeah,
2
but
dope
then
rotation. My
exactly,
man,
and
used
then you
to be a
have
unit.
Young Justice, and then you had New Slang, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't go out. Like New Slang didn't work with people outside Sudan.
Yeah.
I feel this is what was
Lacking.
lacking to make it
Yeah.
more of a scene that is popping out.
I blame the Sudanese passport for that. It's hard to travel.
I agree.
For real, it's hard. It was at one point it was the third worst passport in the world. Like it's like try getting a visa. Till now, we can't bring keys to America because he has a Sudanese passport.
Should I start talking?
Please,
I'm Syrian.
I said third worst. I didn't say we have the worst. Third worst.
I mean, you know, maybe we're second.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight for who's got the worst passport.
Exactly.
You know, I think it's
But
a little
yeah.
better now, but
Yeah.
but still, like we were cut off from the world, though. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. Like you don't have radio presence that's heard outside of your country. You don't have ability to get to these people, and it wasn't. And I don't want to take credit for this, but like after like Volume 1, then a lot more people start hearing Sudanese artists in other places, and then they start connecting and working. Like I just went to South Africa, and like one of my favorite artists, Lord Kez, she sings, she raps, she's just super dope. She came up to me at the party and she was like, Proof, how come you never asked me to work with the Circle? And I want to work with Nadine. I want to work with AKA Keys. And I was like, that's so fire. I told, she hit up Nadine herself. She hit her up directly, and Nadine loves her music. So like things like that, it's like, that was part of my goal in the first place, was if we help each other shine the light on the whole scene,
Yeah.
like let's not be greedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's just kind of all try to elevate the
Lift
scene,
up the
and
whole
then
thing.
everyone. It's the same thing with the Circle, by the way. I told them, I said, look at it as a platform. If we want to get here, it's easier for us to push this up and then make the jump from here to there.
Okay.
As opposed to try and jump from down here to up there. Let's all together push this platform up, up, up. And then when it's in reach, if you want to jump off and grab your prize, go ahead. You know, but you're not gonna. It's gonna be so much harder to try and grab it without elevating that platform. So I treat the same way for Sudan. I treat it the same way for the Circle. Like there's artists I don't like in Sudan. I still big them up. You know, deep inside I may think niggas trash, but
You give
it
them a
doesn't
chance.
benefit anyone for me to say that.
Yeah.
Don't ask me who either. I know where your mind is going. I'll say who about America. I could tell you who I don't like in America and shit. But
Top 3 least favorite? Yeah, I'm joking.
nah, it's a lot of talent out there. What's bad about the stuff that I don't like is more when I feel like it's not your identity. You're just doing
Someone else.
someone else's shit. And that's the part that I'm not crazy about. But like I could tell you some of my favorites. I don't know about my least favorites. But from inside the Sudan, definitely my man for me.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, it's like I just love everything that guy does. And he has
I see him as a great engineer.
he's a
in
great
Sudan.
engineer.
I think personally in Sudan, he can really like engineer everybody's music over there. You know?
He's actually gonna help me with a lot of the engineering stuff for this volume 2.
Who's working on it? Engineering other than him.
Probably Tack. I might get Tack
okay.
to help out. Tack's actually gonna do a lot of engineering for the Circle.
That's dope.
He's witnessed a lot of my frustrations with mixing and stuff. He's like, Habibi Saraha, why don't you just tell me? I'll help you guys out. I was like, oh, word, all right.
Let's do it.
He's like, the studio is open if you guys want to come record. I'm like, damn. Yesterday,
Nice
or
guy.
the day before, I literally, when I came, like damn near from the airport, I knocked out for like 2-3 hours. And then I woke up in the morning, I went to Tax, we're just having a conversation. Next thing I know, I'm recording. I need to mix the song right there on the spot. Like,
Yeah.
then I went back the next day and they were like, yo, we should do an EP together. We have, me and him have a song with Narcy that I can't wait for it to be like completed, mixed, and then find a proper place to put it at. Probably on this EP we're working on.
That's dope.
So, yeah.
Tax energy is on a
Nice. It's,
another
yeah.
level.
He's just a great guy and a great
yeah.
artist. And he has more range than a lot of these artists.
That's true.
He could rap,
Vocally,
and
he can sing.
You can sing.
Yeah.
High pitch, low pitch.
The Mirror Theory is one of my favorite songs of the last couple of years.
Pedestal. I love Pedestal.
He'll tell you, I'm mad at him because now it's been 2 shows that I've gone and he hasn't performed it. And he's like,
okay.
I promise you next
The
time
next one.
I'm gonna do it. I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna hold you to that.
That's dope. Artists in the outside music, not our region.
That I like.
Yeah.
Uh,
Currently.
I like Art Ads in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going. I don't know. I really like. I really like his shit. Yeah. I mean, do they have to be alive? Like, I'm heavy into. Even though he's passed, I listen to a whole lot of Nipsey
Yeah. R.I.P.
because I feel like I got onto Nipsey late,
Yeah.
and now I go back and listen to all that stuff and. Bar for bar, like not bar for bar as in like lyrical miracle, but as in like the depth of what
The
he's
depth
saying.
of words, yeah.
It's incredible. Like,
Even his career, it's a blueprint
yo, it's
to
wild.
too many people
Yeah.
out
It's
there.
It's crazy.
He sold his mixtapes for 10K,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
How he came up as a rapper, his career is a different. It's different.
His love to crypto, the merch that he was trying to sell. I mean, like this.
The
He's
little
a big
strip
loss.
mall that he opened up.
Yeah, in Crenshaw.
Oh yeah, so like he's definitely set the blueprint for the independent artist.
Yeah.
And I remember when I wasn't as deeply into him, when he was like, Tupac of my generation. I was like, that's an exaggeration. And then I started listening to this nigga way more, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like, he really does give me the
Yeah.
that thing,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
that Pac had, where it's like uplifting
Yeah.
the thugs as well as
And
like
then with the message.
Yeah, the
in the middle.
message,
And
and that
Snoop
message comes
looks.
from
and
the hood.
he also got Snoop looks. So that's
Yeah.
the first impression when you.
Yeah. At first, he's definitely one of those artists that at first I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I really listened, and I got mad at myself for not like having caught
Yeah,
on
back
sooner.
when he was, yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I got introduced to Nipsey, he was acting in the Bone Thugs and Harmony movie.
Oh shit.
He was Lazy Bone, right?
There was a
no,
movie?
No, Lazy Bone was the
I didn't even
detective.
know that.
No,
I'm
Lazy
actually
Bone-
gonna look at my Spotify list to see what I actually do listen to. My bad,
Oh,
go ahead.
really?
I have too many
All right,
shit.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was just explaining the first time.
I'll tell you my core problem. Now, see, and I've always said that he's a great rapper, right? Lyricist, writer, whatever it is. My problem is that when he first signed with Rock Nation, he wanted to do things on his own, right? Production, everything, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that no feature, right? No features. But then he did that on the first project, or second project, or whatever it is, and then third. And yet he had so many utilities he can use in Rock Nation. You have fucking Guru, Just Blaze, just chilling, that they can fucking mix whole shit into greatness and contribute into sound in something that can be great. I'm not saying that whatever that he did was not great,
No, that's
but
cool.
it becomes even better, greater, right? And throughout this whole time, he never did utilize any of those stuff.
Until later.
Yeah.
Until
What? Recently.
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I have a problem also that all his albums, it makes me feel like I'm an underdog and I still want to make it.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, but not how many projects now? 6?
Yeah, but it's who
Not
you
all
speak
6.
to. It's who your target demographic is. Like the people that love Cole don't love Cole because he's rich. They
Yeah,
love Cole
but it's
because
also
he's
nice to see him also
symbol.
flexing sometimes.
Yeah.
And now he started flexing
Yeah, because
recently.
some people like talk shit, so he's got to
Exactly,
flex.
right? Now,
But
and
let
we
me
talked
get
about
back.
it.
Let me get back real quick to one thing you said about the production. Right? I'm gonna ask you which you would prefer. Would you rather pay someone for a beat out of your album budget, or would you rather get paid as a rapper and as the producer? You're getting points on that.
Both.
So financially, it was a great business.
So he took
move.
it as in financially.
No, it's also because when you make your own beats, you can tailor a beat to go with what you're writing.
And still, you
Yeah.
can stand with the great like Just Blaze that he can tailor whatever that you want.
So let me
Right?
ask you, like, if
He
I
can
if I
sit
started
down. Yeah.
I don't want to do this because it'll take all day. But if I started naming mad songs, right, that he produced and rapped on, are you gonna tell me like you just like you don't fuck with them, or I don't know, like do you like no role models?
No.
You don't?
No. I have other songs that I really like.
I respect
in
that.
album,
I respect
but
that.
not role
I do.
models. It's not.
Get off my dick. Tell the two cities.
Tell Two Cities.
Love yours.
Love Yours was nice.
Was nice. You can't say anything.
And this is just one album.
Forest
I'm just going
Hill.
off
Forest
of that
Hill.
one album right
Yeah,
now.
Forest Hill. Let me pull up the track list. Wait, just a sec. No, just a sec.
I like Omen.
Oh yeah, Omen's dope. Yeah, I would say outside of, I don't know who I listen to. Honestly, like outside of like, obviously, my brother. This is one thing that bothers me too, big time. Boss is one of my favorite rappers, but people are gonna think it's because he's my brother, right? So I never like I tend to have to go into these long explanations as to why I think he's so dope, just so people know that I know my shit. You know what I mean? Like rhyme patterns, unpredictability of the flow, switching it up, giving you like the right amount of melodies and the topics. You know, so there's a lot of shit, right? Outside of Boss, I would say I probably listen to Earth Gang more than most artists out there. I listen to a lot of Earth Gang.
They dropped a project 2 weeks
Yep.
ago, right?
Yeah. Yep. But in general, their balance, like people used to compare Earth Gang to Outkast. To me, it's more like instead of Outkast, it's more like Andre 3000 and CeeLo from Goody Mob,
Okay.
as opposed to Andre and Big Boy.
Okay.
All right.
That's more how I see it. Yeah, it's like they're stars, man. And I was just in South Africa with one of them, with Olu. That guy, you can't even really categorize him. It's like when my brother Moma said it best. He was like, some people are on stage and you know you're watching a rapper. When he's on stage, you just know you're seeing an artist. It's like a wild energy is different. Sometimes it's almost Prince-like. Sometimes it's rapper-like. Sometimes it's... So... And they change their content a lot. So I don't know. I'd say Earth Gang's definitely one of my favorites.
Now, what do you think about Future?
I think Future is he's iconic.
He's a pioneer.
Doesn't mean that it's my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'd love to do a track with Future. You know,
He's a pioneer. You know, he paved. Listen, and I've said it more than once. He paved way for too many artists out there right now.
Did
he?
Young Thug, too many other artists over there right now.
By the way, Young Thug is one of those guys that people get surprised when they find out that I like Young Thug.
Oh, you like Young Thug?
I didn't at first.
Oh, okay.
Just because I was going off of, I told you I'm judgmental secretly. I was just judging off of different things. And then I met him on tour. Nicest guy, by the way. Sad what just happened. His baby mama just got killed 2 days ago.
I heard that.
Fucked up,
I heard that.
But real nice guy. And then I realized where his genius lies in. Like the stuff that he does, it's so different. Then like it takes a certain confidence that I've only like, you know, that voice that he has, it reminds me a little bit when he sings sometimes of like some of the reggae artists like Sizzler and those guys that it's a weird pitch. It's almost like you're not a singer, but you're singing, but you're doing it with so much confidence.
That you
is
don't care
fire.
if people don't look at it not nice yet.
It's like,
You know, I don't know if people know that, but like Pharrell, he used to sing, right?
yeah, I
And
guess
he-
yeah.
Yeah, like he used to like sing. I don't think he has a good voice. Like
Yeah,
a good
I mean,
singing
that's how I
voice,
feel about Justin
but then-
Timberlake.
But then he's good.
Yeah.
Say what?
I said that's how I feel about Justin Timberlake. I'm not impressed. Like I feel like
Nothing? You have nothing to say?
no, I just feel like there's some people that don't really be hitting them notes like that. They just sing so low that you can't tell that they're not good.
They're good or not? Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm not impressed.
Okay.
Plus, fuck him. When he turned on Janet, I didn't like that.
Damn. But yo, apparently, so you can know what my J. Cole, apparently, from Forest Hill Drive. KOD is a very interesting tape. That was a different tape for
Yeah.
Cole. And that's what I really like. And For Your Eyes Only, those two tapes were like, you know? But then the others, they're all like,
The off season is
I'm
you
making.
don't like
I'm
off
about-
season. Because low-key, it's creeping up for me as... It used to be Forest Hills Drive. That was my favorite. But off-season is...
Nah, not that much.
there.
Not that much, to be honest. I'll tell you a cool story. By the way, I'm in Sideline's story video. Because he yeah.
You are?
Yeah, back in 2009, I think, or 10, he came to UAE, Abu Dhabi, to perform on...
I think it was 13 years ago.
Yeah, when he first released Sideline Story, the album, he came to UAE to perform in Abu Dhabi.
F1 or was it the Battle of the Beach or Beach?
Exactly, Beats.
Yeah, I was there.
what
I was
it?
there,
Yeah. So after the concert, I was out. Listen, I was a big fan at then, yeah, and I was.
You
I
on
was
the web?
no,
also.
I
I
was.
wasn't-
I
I
was a big fan.
I wasn't
No,
with
he
him.
wasn't there.
No. At the same night we went to and we took a picture.
No,
with
no,
him.
actually, that was.
That was the same.
A different night.
You have a picture.
Oh, it was the same night.
It's the same night.
Okay.
Yeah, because he went to perform in a club after that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the place where
Yeah.
we.
Yep.
So I was waiting outside the place, and then me and my friends were standing, and then I see J. Cole in the car. He comes out, and then I look at my friends. I'm like, "Listen, catch you up later, guys." Boom! I start running after the car. I start running, and then in the middle of the street, right? And then the traffic light turns red, and the car stops, and I go tap 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 tap. I knock on the window. I look at him. I'm like, "Hey, Cole, how you doing, man?" He's like, I'm good. Listen, big fan. I love what you're doing. You know, at that time, I'm like, listen, my friends won't trust me that I met you. And there was no also, what is it called? Mobile cameras that had, selfie, you know, back then. So I was like, listen, give me anything from you so people, my friends at least can believe that. He's like, he took a towel and gave it to me. I was like, what the fuck?
Towel is believable.
Towel?
What else you want to take his shirt off?
But then,
Yeah,
you know,
no.
I fucking,
It
you
is
know,
funny.
I was like, what? And then I was just walking back. People were looking at me. It's like, yo, you met Cole? I was like, yeah, I did. What is this? He gave me his towel. I'm like,
Same night.
"Alright."
The same night. Awab was hanging in the back.
All right,
backstage
we
with
snuck in.
Awab.
We snuck in the club,
And also no.
and
No, we didn't. It was
the night me and you went was.
was playing.
Oh yeah. No. We
It was
went
J.
in.
Cole and
I was heading back from the bathroom. It was me, you,
Wycliffe Jean was there. Right?
and I don't know, out of nowhere, I looked to my left and I saw J. Cole, and I kept on walking. I was like, wait, is that?
Yeah.
And I had my friend Ahmed,
You,
and then we walked in. We had a conversation. I love the conversation because it was so humble. Like J. Cole is a humble dude. You can tell.
He's more humble than his image even shows. Like
I can tell. Yeah.
he's actually like everyone thinks he's this great guy. He's actually greater than everyone thinks. Like the stuff he does behind the scenes that people don't know about.
And how he kept his life, you know, his, like,
Man went to the White House with a Dreamville hoodie on and some Jordans. That means you.
yeah, but I mean,
worked-
how he also kept his private life private.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that, especially nowadays, artists, you don't see that.
I mean, look at Kanye.
for
Jesus.
example.
I mean,
Everybody's all up in your business. Like, I've had people tell me like, "Oh, Cole's got a daughter, right?"
yeah.
I'm like, no, you just heard him say that on For Your Eyes, and it's a concept album from someone
From
else's
someone else,
perspective.
yeah.
He's got boys. He doesn't have a daughter. But
okay.
that's even then, his own fans might make that mistake. You know what I mean? Like, or they don't. A lot of them, they don't know what his wife looks like or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's ideal. That's really how you want it to be. Like I always tell him like, yo, you did everything the right way. Like from my perspective, he did it all the right way. Like he's on top of the game, or top 3, and he can still ride his bike in Manhattan.
True. Yeah.
Like that's like you're not gonna see Drake riding his bike around Manhattan. You know what I mean? Like it's also like the way that the positioning that you do, and it kind of remind me of like, so like back in the days, one of the things I didn't like about Jay-Z growing up, I loved him as a lyricist and an artist, but one of the things I didn't like is I always felt like he talked down on like everybody's not rich. And it's almost like clowning niggas that were broke, where Nas was more like a reporter coming from that environment. Like Nas didn't try to stunt on you and say, you broke nigga. He's like, we the people You know, that's how
But
it
then
felt.
this is a form also. Like that's a form of rap. That's a form of. That's Jay-Z's
Yeah. I'm
form
just
of
saying,
rap.
like the personality shined through differently.
Oh,
So
okay.
like
Yeah.
for me, Nas felt like he made me feel included.
Mm.
He made me feel like he raps for me. Jay-Z made me feel like he raps for the guys in the VIP in the club
For the
popping
elite.
bottles and not for me. 'Cause I couldn't afford that. Not couldn't, I can't. I get bottles in the club, but it's comped because I know somebody.
But on the other hand, some people they listen to Jay-Z to get inspired.
Yes,
Right?
for sure. No, I mean, look, I don't get me wrong. I love Jay-Z's catalog up until a certain point. You know, after a while, he just sounds like an ad-libber more so than a rapper to me. But I hope I don't get no text messages from anyone like, "Yo, bro, come on, man."
I mean, yeah,
That's
come
how,
on,
yo,
man.
some shit's happened
No,
to me
no,
in
I'm
the
here.
past.
Come on, man.
No, like in the past, bro, like I remember, without mentioning who, somebody had called somebody a culture vulture, and I tweeted it, and I got a call from him. He's like, that's the guy that's helping us, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, shit, all right, delete.
okay.
I'll delete this tweet. You know,
Careful.
yeah. I don't mind being the villain, by the way, but when it affects, like, your family and friends' money,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, delete.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true. Favorites in the region overall. Now,
Besides the circle.
yeah, of course.
So are we including Sudan when we say the region?
Yeah,
We're
of
not,
course.
right? We are?
Of course, yeah. Are you
Alright,
keeping
well-
tabs mainly in the overall region? Are you seeing what's happening in Egypt, for example, right
So
now?
in Egypt, I've seen what's happening, and I love the way it's budding, and even Saudi's got a scene now. But I'm not familiar with the individual artist. Like Egypt, what's her name? Faluka? I
Faluka,
think? Yeah.
yeah.
I know because like I've paid attention to her a little bit. I know she's like resides in New York, I think.
Yeah.
I think she's cool. But like what I notice is the skill level going up and things like that. But I don't know specifically this person, that person. But again, if we're talking the region, then I'm gonna have to say outside of us, I'm gonna have to say Tack, my man. Hoosh is Miami based, so I can't throw him in there. And YK is UK based, so I can't throw him in there. So yeah, I'm just being a homer right now. But yeah, those would be probably some of my favorites because of like their music and their personality. Like I'm one of those fans that attaches personality to the music.
Okay, yeah.
Like
I
you could
can
be
tell,
you
yeah.
could be really dope, and I could not fuck with you because you're as a person you're not. That's just me. Like it's a total package for me. Oh, Soldier.
Soldier is
Soldier.
What about the Saudi scene? Like you mentioned that you work with Jeed, I guess, right?
Yeah. Nadine and Keys had done a track with Jeed, and I kicked it with him here in Dubai. Like, I forgot when it was. It was the summer, I think, in August. We had some like real dope conversations. Actually, I like Jeed. I like Jeed. I feel like he's got it's like a old soul that's like evolving, maneuvering through these times. You know, like I could see that at one point without knowing his catalog, because like I'm new to the region.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he was doing before. But like I feel like at one point he may have been in that what they call backpack rap or something. And then now it's more like evolved. Yeah. You guys would know better. I don't know.
I know Jeet since he was here, and I mean Jeet's music since he was here in American University of Dubai, because that's where he used to study. He had a really interesting mixtape back then. It was called Tomato Soup. That was to me was a good mixtape back then. So yeah, no, he's good. And then he started back early here with Moflo.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah,
they're
they're close.
right?
They're harmony. Yeah, they're harmony. So
Shout out to
yeah.
them. They actually brought us out to do a show here last night. You were there. Yeah. So
Unplugged.
I like their organization. I like those guys. Actually, Keys the one that had put me onto them. Keys, I think, used to like really be into Moflo and Jeed and those guys. Because I remember when he said he was going to do a track with Jeed, Like I wasn't really familiar with G
Yeah,
like that, but he was real excited, and I was like, "Oh, that's dope. Let me check it out." And definitely, like they killed that shit. It was a dope track.
So you've been now, Sudan and Dubai more than once, right?
Yeah, a lot of times.
And we asked Arqam in the last episode, what do you think that really lacks for the local artist or for the, the two... Now I'm putting Sudan out there also because, you're also working over there. For the local artist or the artist mainly over here to be as big as, outside or, to be, more familiar with the people, the audience, just like the outside.
So two different answers. For Sudan, again, it's infrastructure, like the fact that playing your music on the radio, you have to, like it doesn't have the same effect as outside. It doesn't reach anywhere. There's no like royalties and things that come back. So all these things affect the game.
True.
For here, I would say that there isn't, like as an outsider, there's nothing that I can pinpoint and say, this is the UAE sound.
Okay.
That's my only problem with the read. It's like, what is the UAE sound? What is it?
But this is the thing, it's because also at the end of the day, it's mixed cultures, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
diverse
where
culture,
it kind of, it kind of makes it, I think, a bit,
Combination of the whole.
exactly, it makes it a
Can
bit
be.
different to have a UAE sound, right?
I think Freak again. I like what Freak does as far
Freak-
as like
Freak,
this region, like the way he handles it. He does some dope shit. Like he had honestly, he had a bunch of dope stuff, and he had that joint with Too Dope also. Was that one Sah Wala La? Was that one, right? Yeah. So like I think stuff like that is dope because I remember, and I actually remember having this convo with Too Dope years back in Sudan at some party. I was like, when you're rapping in English, it's cool, but then you're competing with all the other people that rap in English.
True.
But when you're doing your Arabic English or full on Arabic, now as an outsider, it's gonna pique my interest more. Like because you're not doing the same thing that I see every fucking day.
True.
In the States. Now you're throwing yourself in a competition pool that's huge. But when you're doing like that was actually on volume 1, he's got the song Sabin now. So it was my brother Ebe, it was his idea to put that song first because he was like, oh, it's in Arabic and it has a Sudani feel to it. So the first thing they hear should be something
good
like
intro,
that.
yeah.
So we did that. But again, that's identity, and I feel like Freak has that. There just needs to be more people that are, again, it's such a new scene.
Yeah.
But eventually I'm curious to see where it's going to go. Something is going to happen. You know what I mean? Maybe a lot of producers actually are starting to incorporate more Arabic sounds, So like that will be hard. Like I've heard the Big Mo. I think he's
The
used
producer,
some samples.
Big Mo, yeah.
Yeah, he does the spitter joints with
the
Big
Big
Haas.
Haas, yeah.
I want to take a second, by the way.
Go ahead.
Big shout out to Big Haas.
Shout out.
Big Haas, just because that guy's been more supportive of the Circle than anyone. Anyone, period. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Shout out. Wait. Okay.
I wonder how that sounds. Is that your flamingo thing?
No, this is a clap. This is a clap.
And I just want to explain to prove something that why we keep asking what lacks, what the scene lacks, because it's a new scene, and it's and comparing it to the United States, it's a $1 billion industry. So we are visionary, and we want to be the pioneer to know what's good for the artist also. And
I think in that case, you got to look more to the UK and France because they started so late, but then they found ways to develop their own thing.
All right.
Like now, what
That's
the UK is doing, American rappers are biting it.
True.
correct.
The grime.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, there was grime in Chicago and all, like that kind of stuff existed, but like now you got Drake using their
that's true.
slang
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
their flows and stuff. Like they literally did, but I guess also they got influences there that are very African and Jamaican.
Correct.
Because there's a lot of Africans and Jamaicans in the UK.
In the UK.
So cadences are different.
True.
You know, so like here, you just got to figure out what is this thing that you can find that is exclusive to here.
True.
And to me, that's where you got to
That's
focus
where
a little more on
Freak
the Arabic
is
strings and
doing
things. And Freak,
well
yeah,
also
yeah,
in that.
yeah. Freak definitely has something that feels like it's from here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Because I remember talking to, actually, I'm not going to say his name because he was kind of talking shit. But he was like, yeah, what I don't like about these young Sudani artists, man, they all sound like some fake Post Malones. And at the time,
okay.
huh?
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a weird take.
I thought that that was generalizing and it wasn't true. But then I went to Sudan and I understood what he meant.
Okay.
First of all, there's a lot of pill popping and shit going on over there. So the sound that becomes the thing people want to hear ends up being very Post Malone-ish.
Okay.
So it took me going over there to
Understand.
stop frowning at that statement.
Okay. Okay.
First I was
That's
like
how I did now.
defensive.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I was like,
But you know, I do have one thing I want to say about the scene in Sudan that I don't like. So it's gonna sound like some old judgmental dude shit. We have serious drug problems in Sudan.
okay.
And the people are rapping and singing about these drugs that they don't know the long-term effect of because it's new to them. I'm coming from the States. I know what these opiates and crystal meth and all that stuff will do. I've been telling them, I was like, one day you're going to sell your mom's TV. Eventually, one day you're going to be sucking dick for a hit. Listen, we see it in America all the time. My cousin the other day was like, oh, they're already doing that. I was like, shit. And so why are people bragging about this? Like, it breaks my heart because we haven't been tainted yet and we're doing it.
And
so it's like, America, it's done deal. Khalas, we know. You know, it's okay, drugs are cool. But we could still stop that in Sudan. And artists are so influential in any country.
Definitely.
So I kind of just wish that we'd lay off of that a little bit.
Just to focus on the...
Just because it's not ruined yet.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's why I'm like so adamant about it. You know, like don't get me wrong, I say a lot of shit sometimes in music I shouldn't say. But it's not like a whole, it's not a culture.
Yeah.
And I don't want it, I don't want it to be
A
part of the
culture.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like do it. Be ashamed of it. Do it and be ashamed of it so that you hide it. You know what I mean? Like people don't walk around in America saying, I smoke crystal meth or I do crack. They don't do that.
But then it's happening over there.
Yeah, they're doing it, but they don't want you to know.
No, I mean in
But in
Sudan.
Sudan, yeah, it's
that's what's
happening. In Sudan,
Okay.
it's like they're talking about the whatever, you know, like they're shooting up, they're doing all this shit, you know, and I'm just
And they
like,
brag about it.
yeah, that's the part
That's
that
the problem.
they're bragging about the shit that we clown over there. So what I'd love to do is take all these artists 1 week to America
show them
and
the
be
truth.
like, now go and tell these niggas you smoke meth. See their reaction. That's what I want. You know, or like, yo, go tell them like, they even smoking crack. I went to Sudan and niggas was smoking crack. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, like that shit was wild to me because I like growing up, I've gone to Sudan every year, like for a long time. I took a 12-year hiatus after like some heartbreak. I was like, fuck this place.
Okay.
Yeah. I was in love. I wanted to get married. Families got involved, whistle in each other's ears. You know, in Sudan, when you come from outside, everybody wants you for their daughter. They want that passport, especially back in the, you know.
Back in the days, I know you have money trees everywhere.
Yeah, so
when
it's
you're
like-
outside,
yeah,
that's
they
everywhere.
think-
Even in
Yeah.
us,
They think, khalas, you got an American passport, you're rich. Like, literally, somebody told me like, yo, this iPhone costs $1,000. They're like, yo, iPhone راقد عندكم هناك ما تديني له. I'm like, what do you mean راقد عندكم? Money ما راقد. Like, I don't have that. I don't got bread like that to be giving you my fucking phone.
They think that we are a walking ATM machines or something.
Yeah.
I answer, man. This is money here. Look, this is money tree, Andy. You know.
Be fair, money. When people, I'm the asshole when people say like money doesn't grow on trees, and I'm like, actually, paper.
Oh,
made from
okay.
trees,
They made a tree, so money.
You can say crypto don't grow on trees.
That's Kenzie's.
money does.
عندك ده.
But what you said is kind of sad, to be honest. What's happening in Sudan, and it needs to be addressed, to be honest. Because also I've been in Sudan for the whole 90s. Every summer vacation we used to go there, and I studied also in Sudan. And until I finished my higher education in university, it wasn't that much as you addressed it. And it seems like it's a serious
Out of
problem.
control.
Yeah,
now.
ICE hit in 2016. I'm well tapped in with the streets over there, so like I know the users and the dealers and everybody in between, and that hit the scene in 2016. That's when
I left
crystal
in
meth.
2009. Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
that's when it really hit over there. Also now crime is crazy. Like they just running up on you, snatching your phones, pulling out machetes. Now that's got nothing to do with the hip hop stuff, but. To all the artists that are listening, it's not a shot at you. I'm not talking shit about your music. I'm saying, out of love for our people, that we need to address that. We need to think about it consciously. And you can still be cool and a fly motherfucker without saying that you smoke crystal meth. That's just how funny just saying it. Bro.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. Not even rappers talk about. I mean, states know that they're hitting that crystal meth, man.
Yeah, no, they never
Not
would.
that much.
They never would. Like, it's not a cool thing.
Exactly.
It's literally like, there's nothing cool about being a crackhead.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true.
People don't become a crackhead overnight. It's a process.
it's a process, yeah.
First, they're gonna try it at a party. Then the next time, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this doesn't get me as high as that thing." So they're gonna try and get more and more. And then before you know it,
Is there?
I keep on wondering, all these people who are trying these shit, they didn't watch Breaking Bad. Have they?
I think Breaking Bad is what made it cool. in the first place.
Exactly. I think
No, but
it really
I don't
made
know.
it pop. It really,
I felt like
Listen, man,
it did
pop.
the
I met this. I met this bad chick in Sudan. I met this bad chick in Sudan a couple years back, right? And we're getting friendly, and like while we smooching and shit, she's like, "Do you have any ice?" I'm like, "What the fuck? No." "Do you have any Coke?" I was like, "No, what the fuck? No.
What's happening?
I was like, this is such a turnoff. Like, I was just like, man, just.
I'm out.
I mean, I wasn't out, but I just ain't give her.
Okay.
I had nothing else to give her, but
Well,
it wasn't drugs.
Proof. Any other messages to people out there as a closing statement for now?
As a closing statement,
Yeah.
I would say embrace freedom of speech.
Okay.
Don't get too sensitive when you hear shit on a podcast. Don't take it too hard.
especially from Yad.
At the same time, now you know what? Fuck that. Get sensitive, because then you're gonna go play it to your friends. Be like, listen to what y'all said, and then their streams go up, and then they get bigger and bigger. So the more you bitch about these niggas here, the more they're gonna win. So keep bitching. Do it.
Do you?
Do it for the culture. The culture needs this kind of shit. You need to have a place where you can actually speak your mind, like even like our convos about Cole, for instance.
Yeah.
That's like my brother, and we have a proper conversation about why you don't like something and why I disagree.
Yeah.
And that's
100%.
how it should be. It shouldn't be
That's how it
like,
should be, yeah.
what? You don't like Cole? Fuck your podcast.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I'm calling the boss at Spotify, wherever the fuck.
Listen, and I didn't say I don't like him.
No, I know. I'm just
Exactly,
giving.
yeah.
I'm just
Somebody will hear it
dramatizing.
somewhere. That's why.
Yeah, you guys go out there and tell the world how you don't fuck with Cole. I do want to say I'm excited to see what the scene here is going to become, and I'm definitely more optimistic than I was a couple years ago.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, like I see a lot of good stuff, and also it's very diverse. Like people,
it is.
people really are from everywhere here.
From
You know?
everywhere.
Yeah. So
And that's what makes it nice.
yeah, man, that's very nice.
Proof. Thank you very much.
Somebody bring us out here, pay us. The Circle. Yeah. Book us, baby.
Yo, thank you very much.
Thank you
I
guys.
hope you enjoyed. I mean,
Absolutely.
Hey, this is what it is. And for everybody out there, this was this week's episode from the Flamingos podcast with Aidyproof, part of the Circle.
Shout out G Saleh or G Salih, depending what side of the world you're in. Shout out AKA Keys. Shout out Ease the Bully. We're the Circle. I'm here representing on behalf of the homies.
Yes, sir.
You just tuned into
And
Flamingo Podcast.
podcast. Exactly. And this was everything from the Flamingos podcast this week. Hope everybody out there have a good week and a good weekend. And hope you guys enjoyed. Anything else, guys, that you want to add?
Got it covered.
We're good.
Yeah. Thank you very much for tuning in. And until next time, peace and love.
We out.